Hi, all of you. Well, it looks like you guys seem like you're liking these ads. Now, this is from September 2003, Circuit City. They still had these little big screen TVs. This is about the time that they started selling those flat panel TV. Well, it's only 2 years after. And look at the price of some of these. Well, we didn't get our first flat panel TV until 2006. As you can see the prices, look at the price of these things. And it was only a 20 inch too. Look at this 15 inch for $600, man. God dang. And free DVD player and stuff like $6.99, and it was what size is this one? I think that was 15 inch. Yeah, they're only little 15 inchers. And look at the price of this one, man. 23 inch for $2,300, man. God damn. $4,000 for a 42 inch TV. Damn, man. They were a little bit out of control, but they were still doing these big screen TVs now, which was a much better price. But even these are pretty expensive too. But you got more TV for the price. I mean, but look at the price of some of these things, man. How much they were. Too Fast, Too Furious. Well, I think these are flat screen TVs, but they were not flat panels. The 30. Well, right now today, these TVs are pretty popular, like collector's items right now. They're pretty popular collector items because people want them for the retro video games. And then these. Well, yeah, well, they did. I mean, I do know that we didn't get our first flat panel TV until 2006 because they're just too expensive for us. And even then, when we got our first flat panel TV, which I still have, by the way, this one right here. I actually still have this TV. I mean, yeah. This is our first flat panel TV that we ever got. And this one is a 32 inch Olivia TV, and it still works. I mean, it's a 720p. We paid $6.99 for it at the time. But that was cheap though, because the average TV like that one, like the one I just showed you, was like $1,000. But that was like the cheapest one I could find. So they still did these tube TVs. And this is about the time when I started doing a DVD recorder. They started doing DVD recorders, and then they had these combo units. And then DirecTV. So anyways. More theater systems, it looks like it. Yeah, 5. And then these still were in. But I think some of these were actually, some of them were becoming MP3. But actually, that didn't really, the CD MP3 players didn't start coming out until maybe a few years later after this. And then the audio, the car stereo systems, and the Sirius FM car stuff. And DVD players for the car. Yeah, remember those? Garmin. Was that a car GPS? Wow. Let's see, I hope that. Well, here's some PlayStation game. Xbox 179. Well, the Xbox, I think, was only, how old was it? I think it was only a year old. No, 2 years. 1 or 2 years old at the time. Yeah, Xbox. When did that come out? I think it came out in 2002, 2001. Well, PlayStation 2. Well, I know when this first came out. I think this first came out in 2000, right? The year 2000. Grand Theft Auto. All the games are right here. And then these, I guess these are games as well. Yeah. And then these games, PlayStation 2. At the time, PlayStation 2 was in. You know, the Xbox 360 was not going to come out for another 2 years after this. I mean, PlayStation 2. And PlayStation 3 was not going to come out until 3 more years from now. And then these were the latest CDs. And then DVDs. You know, all of the latest, I guess these are some of the latest DVDs and stuff. Computers. Well, we got our first computer back in 2004, so this is like a year before. So, this is like the specifications. Well, apparently they were much better off than the ones from 97. But you know what they used to do? They used to do a lot of like rebate shit. They used to have a lot of these rebates, and then you had to really make sure that you don't mess up on the rebates, because you would lose out on the money, or it's just a pain in the butt, man, to do that. So yeah, the flat panel screens, you know, they were pretty expensive as well. 17-inch, $500, and then 15-inch was $300. So, but of course, you're able to buy a computer with a CRT monitor for a lot cheaper. It was like typically like a few $100s cheaper if you bought the CRT monitor model. And then this is the specifications. Well, the computer stuff we're getting better and better every year that passed by. Yeah, they were getting better. I mean, they got better pretty quick, these computer systems. And then remember the DVDs, DVD-R, remember? Well, the DVD-R. And then here's a laptop for you. What brand was this? This is a Sony, $1,400 or $13 something. And this is what they offer. Well, the specifications were not too bad, you know, but it had 512 megabyte RAM and 40 gigabyte hard drive. And then remember these type of things. I'm not sure exactly. I was not really familiarized with these things, but. And then here's another laptop for you. $1,500, but you know, it had 1.3, 512 megabytes, and then 1 month of and then this, and then well, I think they started doing the wireless, and then printers. Well, printers, it looks like they were pretty expensive still. Remember Lexmark? Remember that? And then the landline phones, cell phones. So, well, these flip phones, that's when they started getting popular, these flip phones. And then this one. And then cameras, like so yeah. This one, what did this one? 3.2 megapixel. Remember that? When they used to be like 3 megapixels, and that was like a big thing back then. Remember that? And then these memory cards. See, this one was a 250 megabyte, not gigabytes. They were not gigabytes. It was megabytes for $90, and 128 megabyte, not gigabytes, for $50. And then these cameras, they had these like a gold one back then was 5 megapixel, right? And then those cost a lot of money, man. Like Well, the 5 megapixel, of course, we naturally wanted like the best ones we can get, but I mean, the typical camera had like 3 megapixels. A good one, a good digital camera had like 3 megapixels in those days. What does this one have? It doesn't really say. Oh, that one, this one, yeah, 3.1. Well, that was kind of typical back then. Megapixel. And then the mini DVs, they started doing those. But I didn't get my first mini DV until 2005 camcorder. I mean, although these were interesting because they were small camcorder, and I liked those. I mean, but I had one that was kind of like this one. But I had a Sony TR-818 at the time. 2003, this is the year that me and Jenny Lynn got married. Yeah, so. And then, right here, and then more of these cameras. These are pretty common. These were like the it items back then. And then more of these TVs, like not the flat panel, but. And then they had the budget computers. They actually had some of these. But the specifications, though, this is what the specifications look like. 256 megabytes. But they're a lot better off than 1997, put it that way. I mean, and here's a GameCube. So yeah. So that was Circuit City. That was September 2003. I don't know where I have that. That's funny, man. September 2003. That was only a month before I got married with Jenny Lynn, you know, so yeah. So I hope you liked this video. Circuit City 2003. Alright.